Let me tell you something that's going to sound absolutely insane at first. Someone making $500,000 a year can be in a much worse financial position than someone making $50,000. In fact, they often are. Weird, right? It's like we've been hardwired from birth to believe that more money automatically equals more security. But the truth is, inside those sleek Wall Street skyscrapers or the glass offices of Silicon Valley, thousands of people who look like they've made it are actually living on a razor's edge. What nobody tells you is this: as your income grows, you aren't necessarily getting freer. Usually, you're just building a bigger, more expensive cage for yourself. Have you ever wondered why that sense of relief you feel when you get a raise or that bonus you've been waiting for vanishes so quickly? Why is it that even when you hit the dream number you once thought would solve everything, you're still stressing over the bills at the end of the month? Here's what most people miss. The problem isn't the amount you're making. It's your habits shifting alongside your income. It's that silent killer, lifestyle inflation. And I'm not talking about the cliche stop buying lattes advice. This is a much deeper psychological trap. Think of your financial life like a massive boulder you're pushing up a hill. Your income is the force pushing that boulder upward. As you earn more, you feel stronger, and you assume you'll push it to the top faster. But here's the danger. As most people earn more, they start packing extra weight inside that boulder. A luxury mortgage, a high-end car lease, private school tuitions, country club memberships. At some point, the boulder becomes so heavy that even a massive salary isn't enough to keep it moving. And the moment the slope gets a little steeper, maybe the economy slows down or a health issue pops up, that boulder crushes you. This is the breaking point where high earners go bust. The psychological side is even more complex. Behavioral economics talks about hedonic adaptation. Essentially, the human brain adjusts to new levels of luxury incredibly fast. The first time you fly business class, you feel like royalty. By the fifth time, economy feels like a punishment. That luxury is no longer a treat. It becomes your new baseline and essential part of your identity. This is where the real danger begins. Your spending stops being a choice and starts becoming a defense mechanism. The moment you start thinking, I'm a person who makes X amount, so I have to live in this zip code and wear this brand of watch, you've officially lost control. Let's look at the math, because numbers don't lie. Imagine two scenarios. On one hand, you have Mark. He makes $70,000 a year, lives modestly, and consistently invests 15% of his paycheck. On the other hand, you have Sarah, a successful attorney making $350,000. Sarah makes 5 times what Mark makes, but Sarah lives in an elite neighborhood, drives the latest German SUV, and feels constant pressure to keep up with her peers. Between the jumbo mortgage, the car payments, the private schools, and the high-end vacations, 95% of her income is gone before it even hits her savings account. So, while Mark is building a nest egg every month, Sarah is essentially rich but broke. If both lost their jobs tomorrow, who would be in more trouble? Mark's low overhead and savings buy him years of time. Sarah has maybe 30 days before the boulder rolls back. Sarah isn't managing her money. Her obsession with maintaining a certain status is managing her. This is why high earners fail. They use their income to buy liabilities instead of buying freedom. The real crisis happens when the gap between what you earn and what you spend disappears. Most people, instead of keeping that gap wide, fill it with new debt every time they get a raise. When I realized this, my entire perspective changed. Real wealth isn't the money you spend, it's the money you don't spend. Because every dollar you don't spend is a unit of freedom. It's the power to say no in the future. It's the ability to quit a job you hate, pivot to a passion project, or simply take a year off to breathe without checking your bank account every 5 minutes. The core issue is this: people mistake income for success and spending for a reward. The phrase, "I worked hard, I deserve this," is actually the most elegant excuse for financial suicide. This is especially rampant in corporate America. What's the first thing people do after a promotion? They immediately go car shopping or look for a house in a prestige zip code. But here's what no one tells you. That car or that house isn't your reward. It's the chain tying you even tighter to that desk. We call these golden handcuffs. As your income rises, the handcuffs get shinier, but your room to move gets smaller. Let me tell you a true story. I have a friend, a software engineer in Silicon Valley. When his total compensation package hit $400,000 a year, he told me something startling. I've never felt poorer in my life. Why? Because as his paycheck grew, his social circle changed. He wasn't going camping anymore. He was staying in $2,000 a night luxury resorts. He was drowning in credit card debt just to keep up with the other parents at his kid's elite private school. This is what most people miss. The desperate climb for a better life is actually the greatest enemy of financial freedom. If you're spending money to impress people, you're essentially valuing the fleeting opinions of strangers over your own future. So, how do you break the cycle? You shift your focus from an income to expense balance to an income to asset balance. Look at it this way. Use only a small fraction of your raises to upgrade your lifestyle and use the rest to buy back your freedom. I call this the 50% rule. If you get a $2,000 monthly raise, use $1,000 to improve your quality of life. Invest the other $1,000 as if you never earned it in the first place. That way, you get to enjoy your hard work without adding unnecessary weight to that giant boulder we talked about. Remember, your bank balance shows how much you've earned, but your burn rate shows how free you actually are. Many high earners are just high-paid consumption machines. They are the system's favorite players. They produce a lot, earn a lot, and give it all right back to the system. You don't have to play that game. Change your identity, stop being the successful professional who spends big, and start being the strategist who no longer trades time for money. True wealth is the ability to wake up and ask, what do I want to do today? If you're making $300,000 a year but have to walk into a job you hate just to cover a massive mortgage, you aren't wealthy. You're just a slave to an expensive lifestyle. But if you make $80,000, have a 5-year financial runway saved up, and never have to say yes to something you don't want to do, that is when you're truly rich. To avoid the trap that catches almost every high earner, ask yourself, am I building a life I love, or am I just building a prettier prison? When you start measuring your worth by your options rather than your possessions, everything changes. Money is a fantastic servant, but a terrible master. Start putting it to work for you. Don't let it run your life. I'll leave you with this. If you quit your job tomorrow, or if the money stopped flowing, how long could you keep living exactly the way you are now? If the answer scares you, then something is wrong, no matter how big your paycheck is. It's time to face the truth and drop the dead weight from your boulder. Because real freedom isn't about having the most, it's about needing the least. What do you think? How is the drive for a better life affecting your bank account? Let's talk about it in the comments, because this isn't just about money. This is a fight for your freedom.